Long ago in Japan, there was a young warrior who was absolutely convinced he was destined for greatness. In his mind, he was already legendary. He talked endlessly about the fighter he would become, studied stories of famous battles, and imagined himself standing victorious while others admired his skill. He believed that having big dreams and powerful ambition was enough, that desire alone would somehow carry him to the top. But whenever it was time to actually train, something always got in the way. The timing didn't feel right. He told himself he needed more preparation. He promised he'd start tomorrow. Days turned into years, and while his fantasies grew more impressive, his abilities stayed exactly where they were. Eventually, reality caught up with him. Younger warriors, people who had trained quietly and consistently, passed him with ease. That's when the truth hit hard. His dreams hadn't made him stronger. They'd made him comfortable. By talking about success instead of working toward it, he had tricked himself into feeling accomplished without earning anything. His imagination gave him the emotional reward of progress. While his body and skills remained untested, the gap between who he wanted to be and what he was willing to do became the very thing that held him back. This pattern isn't ancient or rare, it's human nature. We assume motivation comes first, and action follows. But in reality, it often works the other way around. When we spend too much time planning, visualizing, or talking about our goals, our brains start acting as if progress has already been made. That false sense of achievement drains the urgency to act. Big goals start to feel overwhelming. So we delay the small steps that actually move us forward. We convince ourselves that thinking equals progress, when it's really just a sophisticated form of procrastination. The warriors who truly mastered their craft understood something crucial. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. They didn't train when inspiration struck. They trained because training was non-negotiable. Progress didn't come from dramatic bursts of motivation, but from quiet, repetitive effort. Showing up on ordinary days, doing the work even when it felt boring, uncomfortable, or pointless. They knew that momentum is built by action, not the other way around. Once you move, energy follows. Once you begin, motivation catches up. Think about someone who commits to doing the smallest possible version of the work, just one basic movement each morning, no matter how lazy or unmotivated they feel. Others might mock it. It looks insignificant, but that tiny action repeats, day after day. Slowly, the body adapts. The mind becomes disciplined. What once required effort becomes automatic. Before long, that person has built a foundation strong enough to support advanced skills, while those who waited for inspiration are still standing at the starting line. That's the real lesson here. Massive plans mean nothing without consistent action. Talking feels productive, but it changes nothing. Waiting for motivation hands control of your future to your moods, and moods are unreliable. Discipline isn't about feeling good or confident. It's about moving forward, despite resistance. Real strength isn't acting when conditions are perfect. It's acting when they aren't. The way forward is simple, though not easy. Start small. So small it feels almost trivial. Do it daily. Stop trusting emotions to decide your actions, and start trusting commitments instead. Readiness is an illusion. Motivation is a byproduct. Habits are what shape lives. Strength isn't saying, "I feel like doing this." Strength is saying, "I'll do this whether I feel like it or not." And that ability to act without waiting is what ultimately decides who you become. That is a powerful reflection on the trap of passive action versus real movement.